In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialise, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day.
Welcome, people, thems. So this is a special one for me because it's my birthday tomorrow, and I've only got time to kind of do maybe 2 more reactions, and well, I've done 3 in total, and I decided I'm going to do like a back-to-back triple of Ren, for lots of different reasons, but the first one I've done is the illest of our time, Sick Boy. And I am just, there are so many reasons why that was amazing, and completely different reasons for the reasons the Fire in the Booth was amazing. Well, I was like completely different reason for Fire in the Booth, but context wise, what he's talking about wise, you know, that message that landed there, the vision of that art, just amazing. And again, completely different to High Ren, completely different to Losing It, like completely different to the Busking, like it, but still just so incredible. So that was amazing. So the second thing that I wanted to do, because a lot of you have recommended it, and it's something that I think I picked up on in regards to Fire in the Booth, with him being like a really humble person, and a lot of people said, oh, you really need to watch his 1 million subscribers, What Success Looks Like, I think it's called. So I presume it's him hitting 1 million subscribers, I imagine, and him talking about that, I would have thought. So yeah, let's find out what it's all about.
I want to keep this short and sweet because I wrote something that I want to share with you. But first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am. I've reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is a flipping huge milestone. I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while. I wanted to say thank you to the YouTube reaction community who have gotten behind my stuff in a big way and really helped me reach this goal. So thank you guys. Yeah, I wanted to read this passage that I wrote about success. It's too much for me to remember right now, so bear with me. But yeah, success to me means that I have a responsibility that transcends me. If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was a rising tide lifts all ships. Somehow, by finding success for myself has meant that I can find success for the people around me, and that makes me feel very rich. I'm in a very strange position right now where I owe much of my success to the most destructive force in my life, which has been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has by far brought me the most pain has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy. Creating art which means something to somebody else and can potentially be a companion to somebody else in the dark justifies my own pain, and I desperately needed that to be justified. There are a lot of people alive today who live in the dark. It's a place that I'm very familiar with. In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialise, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day. But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day, don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a certain, to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency makes me know that you won't hurt forever, whether that comes from resolution of what you're going through or acceptance of where you are. You won't hurt forever. You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. It definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a catalyst for filling you with empathy. So stand strong, my friends, and don't let the darkness consume you, because once you know the dark and become intimate with it, you become very capable of wielding the light. You could be instrumental for changing this world for the better. There's nothing humble about shrinking or doubting yourself because you are large. You can be ferocious and you could be magnificent. For the medical industry, who too often let people fall through the cracks, it's your duty to do better. For the people living in the light, who have either stepped out of their shadow or have never had to walk beside it, it's your responsibility to put out untainted love. Our own greed, desire to ferociously expand, and decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us, ultimately hurting ourselves. So we really must consider that if we're going to step into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away. So community, humanity, and changing our relationship with the natural world so it leans more towards homeostasis must be a priority number one. Mm-hmm. If you're watching this and there's a knot tied up in your stomach with bitterness, anger, or hatred for your fellow human being, be with it, feel it, understand it, express it, and then let it go. You're hurting. Give yourself love, forgive yourself, and then project that love outwards, and the anger will pass. We have a decision in every interaction to tilt the world towards heaven or hell, towards Jannah or Jahannam, utopia or dystopia, and some people's ideas of heaven will be another's image of hell. So tread carefully, but treat those differences with respect. Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety in the sum of their parts. Thank you to 1 million people inside this rich tapestry for the opportunity for me to try and spread my own vision of what I believe to be good. And thank you for justifying my pain. Thank you. I love you. If you're watching this,
You know, one of the comments I saw today was, if you love Ren now, you wait till you see this. Wow. I'm a crier anyway, so I'm trying my hardest here to not cry. My mom said to me the other day, she's just like, every video I look at you crying. I was like, I can't help it. Yeah, I just feel I feel a lot of stuff like that. The humility, like this is that's beyond humble. That's beyond humble, man. Like, for someone to, like you said, to have been dancing in that dark for so long, both physically, like, and being in that point where he's like, there is no way you could ever convince me that this level of discomfort and pain is ever going to be for anything good. And for him to turn around and say, you know what, like, thank you for helping me make this into something good, for having a platform which I can share what my vision of good is. Do you know what I mean? Thank you for that. Like, you know, isn't it always surprising that when there are people that have some of the most incredibly God-given talents, yeah, that they're also cursed with something? And just as someone who's very recently jumped into this whole Ren sphere, like, even just with the four tracks, Hi Ren, Losing It, Bob Marley one, just listen to it, Sick Boy, and Elizabeth Full Time. Like, those four, even within those four, I feel like I have been brought into him. I'm Fire in the Booth as well, there is 5. Like, I've been brought into him. Like, and so I can only imagine for people that have, like, been on the journey with him for such a long time. And, you know, like he said there, thank you to everyone that's been here, new. Thank you to the reaction community. Like, I don't think I've ever I mean, again, I've been doing this for like 3 years. Like I was doing it part time before when I was at work, and I don't know how I did that. Like I really don't know how I did that. But like for the last, I'd say, year and a bit, like it's been full time, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone publicly like thank reactors. I've had people I've reacted to like thank me for my reactions, and whenever I see that, I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe that like I've literally been fangirling over you like in my little room here, like, and you've seen it. And not only have you not blocked it, you said thank you to me for it. Like what? That's so amazing. Like so to hear him like actually thank that I feel seen. Like he's made me feel seen in that moment. Like that is so awesome. Um, but he had so many messages for life. Like if you're hurting right now, yeah, as someone that's been dancing in that dark, I can tell you now, yeah, it's not always that. It's not always bad. You're not always gonna feel so bad. Just so you're giving people hope because people are going through stuff, man. People are going through stuff. So it's amazing to kind of acknowledge the fact that not everyone's at the same starting point here. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there's so many people going through so many different things. So, and one of the things he said there about like for those who are in the light or who have never really had to walk with their shadows or whatever, like, be aware that you also have a responsibility to kind of pay that love forward. And I think like it's kind of what I was saying earlier about having this space and finding a way in which to cope. Like, I'll be really honest, like I had a point last year where I was literally unable to post anything. Everything just seemed completely pointless to me, like because you look at the world and you just think, what is wrong with people? Like what is like you've got one life to live, and this is how you're choosing to do it, like to inflict harm or to allow harm and be complicit. Like you're gonna just sit back and watch that, yeah. And it made kind of like me doing videos and stuff and reactions. I was like, how am I gonna sit down here and like jig up myself to Beyonce? Yeah, like, and there's all kinds of all like I mean, pick your tragedy, pick one. Do you know what I mean? There are so many, um, and I kind of snapped myself out of it by being like, the thing that I feel like is something to pay forward. And kind of the reason why I decided to do a channel in the first place is, a lot of my friends and a lot of the people that I come into contact with, and again, this is not in any kind of conceited way, I've always kind of gone, you've got this energy about you, you've got this like this vibe about you and stuff, which people seem to enjoy. And I just thought, you know what, if I can kind of like bring that same me-ness to reacting to things that people can recommend me, and things I've not seen yet, and we can just have that energy spent together. That is a way of paying that forward. So actually, do you know what, even though the world is terrible, there are still lots of great things about it too, and having those moments of joy, like, are the little miracles that they are. So I completely rate what he's saying there about being able to kind of pay that love forward, man. Like, there's so much love in my heart, and I see so much love from the people that watch my videos and react and respond and stuff. So yeah, bro, like I really really felt that. I really really felt that. I like the fact that he spoke to, the medical profession, because boy, I know that we could sit down here and me and you could go back and forth about different stories that we know of, either our personal situations with medical situations that have not gone the way that they're meant to go, or people that we know. Like, so and even then, like, I never when I look at them kind of situations, I'm never looking at Nurse Hatfield and being like, oh, it's your fault. Yeah, it's like, how are we in a situation where we don't have enough of what we need for the people that, like, it's just, anyway, again, don't get me on my soapbox. But him addressing that, I think, is really really important. But I think as well, him just being so incredibly grateful, you can just see it pouring out of him. Like, the fact that he's been able to kind of utilize his own experiences that have use his own experiences that have shaped him, and who knows the deepest, the darkest depths of that. And look, there he's been able to take this coal, this dark, painful coal, and have the brightest diamond that we can all now share in. that we could all now take something from. Do you know what I mean? Like, I never thought, like, if you said to me in the start of the year that, like, oh yeah, come like the night before your birthday, yeah, you're gonna be having some like pearly words of wisdom from like this amazing sick boy, this amazing sick guy that's like just so incredibly talented. Like, I'd have been like, am I? All right. You know, and yet here we are. So for me, that has been awesome. Like, I cannot tell you, it's probably been one of my favorite. Like, you know, the talent to one side, but you as a person, you as an individual human being, yeah, like, who, you know, I could never turn around and say that the person was necessarily born this way. Who's to say what he was like as he's grown up and stuff? But the person that's presented in front of me today, like, in terms of what he's choosing to spend his time doing, and what he's choosing to shine lights on, mate, like, he's got a fan in me unless something catastrophic happens, yeah, and suddenly he starts, you know, a bit some rhetoric that next level 180, or yeah, 180. I cannot see any situation with someone who is as talented as he is, who's as God-given talented as he is, and so incredibly humane in the most beautiful way. You know, the other thing he said as well, like, this just popped into my head when he was talking about how your perception of good may be completely different to someone else's perception of good. So when he's talking about the heavens and stuff, and how actually that your version of heaven could be someone else's hell, is like, you know, but just respect that. And I think that's the problem we've got. Like, we don't have the respect for one another's different perspectives. It's like all or nothing, and it's like, but it hasn't got to be that, because I don't read the business what you do. Like, I mean, as long as you ain't hurting no one, you're happy living your life. We're all spinning on this planet, yeah. Like, so, you know, spend it wisely, spend it good, spend it giving those positive vibes out there. Like, I don't business who's in your bedroom. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't. You know, I've got nothing against anybody, unless you are a harmful person that wants to do harm to me and my family or my friends or whatever. Like, I don't have nothing against, and even those people, yeah, that do have certain ideologies and stuff. Like, I try and at least, you know, to some degree, understand, like, where has that come from? Like, you couldn't have just been born wicked. Do you know what I mean? As we saw in the amazing musical with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not just born that way. What on you, sir? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that was really awesome that he said that, about just having that respect and stuff. And then when he spoke about, like, if you've got, like, some actual hatred for someone and whatever, and how you should just, like, you know, yeah, feel it, allow it, but then let it go because you're hurting. And that's the thing, like, a lot of people that have got these hateful ways and stuff, like, it's born from something. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's not even usually about that person or that group or that sect or whatever. So again, him addressing that, I just think is, what a guy, man. What a guy. What a guy. Loved it. Thank you so much to all of you who suggested this. I think that is, yeah, quite easily one of my favourite things that I've reacted to when it comes to Ren. 100%. 100%. What an amazing human being. I'd love to know what you guys thought of this. I'm sure you guys have already seen it. Like, if you haven't seen this already, well, you have now if you got this far in the video. But I'd love to know what your thoughts were. You know, what did it make you think about? Like, what did it make, you know, it instantly made me reflect, as you can clearly see. But what did it make you think about? You know, what was your favourite bit that he said? What was your favourite bit of wisdom that he dropped there? But yeah, if you did enjoy this reaction, then please do drop me a like and subscribe. That'd be amazing. Thank you so much. And if you do want access to my reactions before they come to YouTube, then please do head over to my Patreon, which is a great way to help support the channel, and it's a great way to connect with me more as well. So you can't lose. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.